All right, so this is Miss Cater, and I'm going to do a little how-to video about how to find a few of the quizzes. We had some of our remote students in Algebra with Finance having a little trouble navigating the Foundations in Personal Finance website. So I'm going to walk through this as if I was a student, because I have set myself up in this class as a student as well as having a teacher log in. So when you go to FoundationsDigital.com, those are all the links that I put in Schoology. So if you go to your Schoology account, so let me go ahead and do that and just kind of show you a little bit. So here's Algebra with Finance. And you're going to scroll down to the Unit 1. And we're looking at day 3. Well, let's look at day 4. So in day 4, we did our bell ringer. That's just on a PowerPoint. We did a game of chance activity, which I have the PDF for you to do that on. And if you have a piece of dice or a set of dice at home, you can play this little activity. If you don't have dice like we did in class, we just used a set of Uno cards and just drew out a card number and just used that number to play the game with. So you can do that at home. History of credit and consumerism, we just got into. So here's the quiz. Now, you don't have to take this quiz. Yeah, we didn't take this quiz Friday. We're going to take it on Tuesday. Both of these quizzes we'll take on Tuesday. But I'm just going to show you what you will do whenever you take any quiz with this course. So you'll click on the quiz assignment, and you will go to the Algebra with Finance course. So you click on that link. When you go to that link, see, it's going to pull up your class. Okay. Then you are going to, you're already joined, so you don't need to do that. I have already made you a student in the class. So there's no class code, there's no join code, nothing like that. It's just your email, your school email address, and the password Priceville1. When you type that into the login, that's all you need. So then you're going to click on Foundations in Personal Finance. That's going to load the course. And then you can see it gives you a little progress bar for the things that you've completed. Okay. We are in Introduction to Personal Finance. So you can see I've even gone through and taken a few of these things on my own as a student. And so this is the one I need to continue in. Yours should say the same thing. You can see all the other courses, all the other units we haven't started yet. So we don't need to go to those until we complete this one. If you haven't done anything yet, you need to make sure you go and do this pre-test first and do everything in that section first. And then you'll come down to Introduction to Personal Finance, and then we'll just go all the way through. So I'm going to click Continue. Okay, so you'll see a little box of all the things that you have completed. If you have gone through and opened up and read those sections or watched that video, you'll see a check mark. So again, if you have not done anything with this course just yet, because I know y'all just started, that's what you're going to do. You're going to start at the top and you're just going to work your way all the way down. Okay, as far as things that you might have to do with this, the only thing I'm really asking you to do is when you get to these journal questions where it says start your journal, I want you to start that on a Google Doc. So it tells you can to start writing a journal. So what I want y'all to do, since we're remote and virtual, you're going to go to your Google Drive and you're going to click New and Google Doc. And then you can just click, if the document's not already attached in Schoology, you can just title it Journal Algebra with Finance. And then you'll answer all your journal questions on this Google document. Okay. Oops. Where did it go? There it is. So when you get to, you'll start your journal, then you'll get to journal questions, and you'll answer those 2 questions on your journal, that Google document. Then you'll come down here and do this pretest. Okay. So those are all things I've already completed as a student. There's little next and previous buttons at the bottom. We are currently in the section 1, what is personal finance? Okay, so on Friday, we completed all of these. We watched the video, we reviewed the key components of financial planning, we took the little quiz. So you'll just click on it. Okay, so you'll click on the video, you'll watch the video, it's like 5 minutes, hit next. There's our review. Okay, and that was our bell ringer for yesterday, is name one of these key components. So that's your review, and then you'll come to the quiz, and you can see when you get to the quiz, there isn't anything, you just hit begin assessment. So once you get in the course, there aren't any codes or anything like that you have to put in for a test. So you'll just click begin assessment, and you'll answer the questions. So you can see there's about 5 or 6 questions. They're all multiple choice. They are based on the video and on the review that you just saw in the previous slide. And then when you click done, you'll click finish. I'm just going to go through and randomly answer some of these. I have no idea. I'm just so I can move on. So click finish. Oh, we have to answer all the questions before you can finish. Okay. Those are not the right answers because I did not even read the question, so please do not copy my answers. Then it will tell you the answer, what you got, and then you'll move on to the next one. So we started this wealth building video Friday, and so you'll watch that, click next. Here's a little quote, or there's a little reading after the video. Click next again, and we did this journal question. Okay, so in your journal, you will answer that journal question on that Google document that you just made, and we'll click next. And that brings us to the next section. So you will read through this section, you will watch the video. See, every time you click next, it gives a little green check mark that, hey, you did this, you completed it. And then you watch the video, you'll go to next. And then again, you're done with the video, there'll be a quiz on it. So you really need to pay attention to the video. You can take notes on a piece of paper if you want to, whatever. But you need to pay attention to the video. And then you'll click that. Now, I'm not going to do that because it's going to ask me, I'm going to have to finish it again. So every time, that's what you're going to do. There shouldn't be any codes set up for taking a quiz or taking a test once you get in the course. Okay, you're just going to follow along, and it's going to keep track of what you've done and what you haven't done. So like when I sign out of this and I leave, when I log out, and then I log back in later, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my school email address, and I'm going to put Priceville 1, no spaces, and capital P. That's my password. If you want to change that, you probably can. Then you just click Let's Go. Again, we're not going to join any courses. We're not doing anything like that. We are simply clicking on what you're already in. So when this one comes up, you're just going to click right there on that picture. And again, it's going to give you a little progress bar of where you're at. We're still in Introduction to Personal Finance. We're going to hit continue, and you can see that now it is kept track of everything I've completed. And now I'm in section 2, and it's keeping track of everything I've done in section 2. Okay. As a teacher, so you can see on my side of it, it gives me a grade book. And so it's going to give me a grade of everything that everybody's done and completed. Okay, so I can look at who all has finished the pretest. It's going to pull that up and show that. Who all has finished. Okay, so we can see 6 out of 10 of us has watched this video. 3 out of 10 of us have taken the pretest. 5 out of 10 of us have completed this quiz. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like on my end. So please make sure that you are reading and listening to the videos and taking notes on what they say, reading the sections before and after, because your quizzes are always going to come from those videos and from that information. And when we get to the end of the Introduction to Personal Finance, we will have a post test. When we get done with all 3 sections, we will have a test at the end. Okay? So you'll have a check for understanding and you'll have a post test. Okay? There are activities that aren't necessarily listed here in the digital course that we do in class, things like Clay's candy bar activity, the game of chance activity we did. A game of chance activity, I said you can do that at home. The PDF for that is in Schoology. So you'll just go to Schoology. I believe it was in day 4. You'll click Game of Chance, and you will open this with Kami. Now, for those who are remote and are not used to working with Kami, let me show you what that looks like when you open that up. So you should see this little box here. It says Open with Kami. You're going to click on that, and when you do, it's going to pull up the PDF, and it's going to allow you to type and write on this PDF. So you can enter a text box and you can type in that text box. You can move that text box around anywhere you need it to be. Okay. So you can read through, here's the directions. You need to write an essay or a little short paragraph, not an essay, a short paragraph about where you envision your life being in 5 years. Write a letter to your future self. So you need to do that. And if that's not enough room, you can add blank pages at the end of the document. There's a little plus sign down here that says add more pages. So you can click that and add more pages if you don't have enough room to put a text box right here and type it in. Okay. Here's the game of chance. So you'll roll the dice, and depending on what number you get on the dice, you will choose. That determines what you get for housing, financial, GPA, and so on. Basically, what we're getting at with this is that if we don't plan financially, our life will become just like a game of chance. A roll of the dice determines whether you get what you want or not. So we need to plan financially. We need to go back to those key components of financial planning and put those in place. And here are 5 discussion questions that you'll answer. Again, you can just put the text box in there. See, I put one in. So you can put a text box in there, and you can add what did you want and how are you going to achieve that standard of living. Get the most education necessary to obtain a career I enjoy. Let's put it in a complete sentence. I will get the most education necessary to obtain a career I enjoy. So there. All right, so then you'll do that and you'll answer all of those questions. And here's your part 2 again. And when you're ready to turn it in, you'll go up here to this little sign right here that says turn in. Okay, so you'll click that turn in, and that will direct you back to Schoology. So make sure you keep your Schoology tab open. will direct you back to Schoology, and you'll just click turn in again, and then that'll work. You'll have it turned into your Schoology account. Okay. So let me delete those additions I made today. So that's how that's going to work with those little activities, those class activities. Most of them you will be able to do on your own. If you're not, I'll do like I did this, and I'll make a video so that you will have that, so that you'll be able to complete them. Okay. It might be a video of us doing it in class, or whatever we need to do to make sure that you're able to complete that. So, all right. So if you have any other questions about Foundations Digital, about how to find something, please make sure that you email me, put your class period, and then be very specific with your question so that I can answer you better. Okay. I hope this video helped you out, and don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions. Thanks. Have a good weekend.